Now, Steve Moore's mentions of non-tariff barriers, that China is notorious for that. For instance, they keep out a lot of U.S. products by simply declaring some products unsafe. They just do it. It could be paper clips, it could be thumbtack, whatever. Just declare the product unsafe and say your market is closed to us. There are a lot of other tactics that Chicom use to protect their market, and we don't. Our market is for the consumer. Our market is freedom and freedom of choice, and let people choose whatever they want, and let competition reign supreme. An example of competition reigning supreme. For those of you who have suffered or are worried about or know somebody who's had AFib, atrial fibrillation, there was a company out there called Cardia, founded by some people that used to be at Google. And it's a device that you buy for 99 bucks. And it goes with an app on your iPhone. And you put your index finger and your middle finger of both hands on the pads of this device that connects to your phone via Bluetooth for 30 seconds, and it is a one-lead EKG. It'll tell you whether or not you're in sinus rhythm or perhaps in AFib. And they were selling these things like hotcakes. Then Apple came along last September, and they introduced the same thing in the Apple Watch. You didn't need a companion part. Just put if you bought the new Apple Watch, the Series 4, put your index finger on the digital crown. For those of you who feel that'd be the knob. On a traditional watch, you used to wind it. You don't wind the Apple Watch, but it still has a knob. They call it the digital crown. Put your fingertip on that for 30 seconds. It reads your heartbeat. Tells you whether you're in sinus rhythm or not. It also records your regular beats and so forth, sends you alerts. So what are the Cardia people going to do? Oh my gosh, now Apple's come out with this thing and you don't need a secondary device. It all happens on one device, the watch. So Cardia today announced a brand new device that is a 6-lead EKG. If you go to the hospital, 12 to 13 leads and put that stuff all over your chest and your legs and stick them on there, that's a full-fledged EKG. The original Cardia, the original Apple Watch are one lead, and they're good. Now, don't misunderstand. I mean, doctors accept them. You can send PDF files of your trace, your EKG, from either Cardia or the Apple Watch. The doctor will accept their. Both these devices have saved people's lives. So Cardia says, okay, we need to up the game. So they've come out with a new device that is a 6-lead EKG, which will give the user even more data, more refined data, and as they say, provide more early indication you could be tending or trending toward irregular heartbeats or what have you. It's the same looking device, except you now put your thumbs on the two pads and touch it to your left knee or your left ankle. And it's 6 leads. This is it just happened today, that's why it's on top of my mind. This is a classic example of the competition. Now, all these devices are made in China. The Apple Watch is made in China, the phone's made in China, they're designed in America, the parts, many of the parts are in America, they're assembled in China. I don't know the Cardia device, but I'm guessing it is. And all of this happens, the American consumer has a plethora of choice. The more choice, the more competition, the lower the price. Chicoms don't have an open market like this. The Chinese people don't have anywhere near this country, because they're a communist country. They are a command and control economy run by the Chinese Communist Party. And one of the ways they compete is to keep the United States out of their market, and the goods that they do allow in, there are tariffs placed on them that make them prohibitively expensive for the Chinese consumer. And Trump is looking at this and saying it's unfair, it makes no sense, and why have we agreed to this? So that's what this argument is all about. And nobody has taken the Chicoms on this way. And so the Chicoms are responding, threatening to walk away. They're threatening to pull out of the Treasury market. They own a tremendous, about $22 trillion national debt. The Chicoms own a significant amount of it. They have been buying Treasury bonds like you would not believe, and they're not alone. That's how we finance the debts. Chi-Com's threatening to cash in their T-bills. That's supposed to scare Trump. But he's not going to be scared this way. This is going to be a long time. Kudlow, Larry Kudlow was on TV over the weekend. One of Trump's economic advisors had to admit that in the short haul, this may cause some price increases for the American consumer. It'll be negligible, but they will have. They're not going to lie about this. But in the long term, this is the only decent and fair thing to do. Now let's go to the audio soundbites. Grab audio soundbite number 6. We have a montage here. Drive-by media suddenly understanding how taxes hurt people when it's time to explain the Trump tariffs. Now, all of a sudden, the drive-by seem to know everything about taxes.
You could pay higher prices on thousands of products, like electronics, appliances, and furniture, to basic items like clothing, bed sheets, shampoo, and cereal.
Companies can either take on those costs and make less money, or they raise prices on U.S. consumers, which is what often happens.
What's so important for American taxpayers to know is that this is a $200 billion tax increase on them.
It amounts to a sales tax on U.S. consumers.
Tariffs are taxes, and they tax the people who can least afford it. Prices on consumer goods like televisions and cars and even some food items, beauty products, they're going to go up. But he wants to tell people there's no pain. He's wrong. There will be.
There will be pain. Now, why don't we get this? Why don't we get this kind of explanation when the Democrats talk about raising a minimum wage? Because that's a tax. That is a tax on employers. And the truth about the minimum wage is that it shuts down restaurants, for example, and it shuts them down in liberal cities like Seattle and San Francisco. Why don't we get explanations like this when Kamala Harris or Ocasio-Cortez come along and want to talk about raising your taxes? Why do we not get a series of stories on all the pain the Democrats are going to cause you? No, why do we only get that when the Republicans cut taxes? When the Republicans cut taxes, all of a sudden we're treated to stories about how it's going to cost you an arm and a leg. It's not really a tax cut. The Republicans are lying to you. Or the tax cut is going to cost the government so much money that Medicare will be reduced and Social Security will be reduced. Oh, no, it's going to be horrible. But now they can use this against Trump. Now they can blame Trump for raising taxes, not the Democrats. And look how they cannot